cross promote. If you have a Bookstagram account on Instagram, you got to promote your YouTube videos there. Create a story with a link to your YouTube video. If you have TikTok, Book talk about your videos there as well. If you are a Reddit user, that's also an excellent platform. Go find the subreddit that fits that particular piece of content that you're trying to promote and just talk about it there. You would be surprised by how many more views you will get by cross promoting. So you want to monetize your Booktube channel. Here are 25 tips that I think you may find incredibly helpful when you start your YouTube journey, or maybe you've already started your YouTube journey and you're wondering why you have not monetized your channel yet. I hope that these 25 tips will be helpful to you. Now, my specific niche is books. I like to do book reviews. I like to do book summaries. So I will specifically be catering today's information towards booktubers. But if you're in a different niche and still want to create a YouTube channel, I think you might find some of these tips still helpful regardless, because it doesn't necessarily have to do always with the book related side of the platform. But you know what? Some of these tips may be applicable to you as well. So I am glad that you're here. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing, because if you're a reader, wow, I got a lot of book related content out there for you. And I plan to create some future videos that are catered towards booktubers looking to cross that line into monetization. So I hope that you stick around. I hope you subscribe. I do have other content in mind regarding the booktube side of YouTube. So I hope that you plan to stick around, because this is going to be helpful to you creators and not just readers for creating your very own booktube channel. Just a quick introduction. I started my Booktube channel in March of 2023. It was over 2.5 years before I saw any money come from AdSense, which honestly, let's build some realistic expectations. I want you to go into creating your channel with realistic expectations. That's not to say that you could monetize sooner. You very well may be able to monetize sooner. You may be walking into this journey with more skills than I readily had available at the time when I started my journey, but just be patient. YouTube is the long run game, if that makes any kind of sense. You cannot expect to go viral right away, because there's a lot of things that require practice and time and patience. So we'll dive into those here shortly, but it was over 2.5 years before I made my very first paycheck. Now, my journey with YouTube monetization panned out way differently than I had expected, because the requirements, keep in mind, are always changing. As of right now, end of 2025, we're currently in October, the minimum requirements to monetize your channel is going to be you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours within a year's time. Now that may change, so keep that in mind. You'll want to check the most up-to-date information. The beautiful thing about YouTube is that you do not have to make it big. You don't have to necessarily go viral. You don't have to have thousands and thousands of subscribers in order to make it. You can do it as a small channel. I currently am still a small channel, and I expect to be that way for years to come. I still have under 2,000 subscribers, and I've made my first paycheck. I'm super, super excited. This is a dream come true, because this is what I want to do. I'm a very passionate reader. I love talking about books. I love connecting with other readers. And so this is genuinely a dream come true. Now, I still have a lot to learn and I have a long way to go. So I'm going into this video saying that I am not an expert. I'm still a small channel. I still have a lot to learn. But here are a couple things that could help you potentially expedite your way into monetizing your channel. Now, I can't stress this enough, you guys. If your videos initially do not perform well, that really doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that your video can't take off later on. Maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe there is something that happens in the future that will create more of a high demand for people wanting to watch your content. So just keep that in mind. Again, YouTube requires patience in most cases. Sometimes people take off right away. Super jealous of you guys, but proud of you. But seriously, keep in mind, just because you publish it now and then a week from now you have like no views, that doesn't mean it won't look up in the future. So just stay positive. All right, tip number 1. I believe wholeheartedly that you need to stay within your niche. Seriously. People tend to subscribe to your channel for one reason. If you have a dozen different hobbies that you're talking about, people are going to have a tough time following you, because they may only be interested in 1 or 2 of the hobbies that you're trying to talk about. You're going to lose people that way. And if they're getting flooded with notifications about content that they're genuinely not interested in, they're going to unsubscribe. So I truly believe that you should stay within your niche. If that's Booktube, fantastic. Continue talking about books. Let's stray away from your other hobbies like hiking or guitar playing or whatever it may be. Just stick to the books. That's my honest opinion. Tip number 2, consistent posting. Guys, you've got to be consistent. And I really, really messed up here. And it was mostly due to my timing. I actually started my channel when I was pregnant with my son, and I was tired and I took a long break. I barely had any opportunity to grow my channel. I think I published maybe a dozen videos. They're all really bad, by the way. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I took a long break, months and months and months, and I did not resume my YouTube journey in earnest until well after I'd had my son. So I took a long break, and I really think that didn't help my channel. I don't know how much it hurt it because I recovered, but it certainly wasn't a great start. And so when I say consistent posting, I don't mean you need to post every day. You don't even need to post every single week. Once a month is fine, but make sure it is consistent. Me personally, I try to create a schedule that I mostly adhere to, but life happens, vacations happen, pregnancies happen. You know what? So you just have to kind of go with the flow, plan accordingly. But I try to publish 2 videos a week, and they come out typically on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can also take a look at your analytics page and see when your subscribers are most likely online. And those are the times that I shoot to post. So Tuesdays and Fridays, those are my days. If you know that you need to go on an extended leave, I would recommend recording in advance some videos and then saving them for editing later, and then you can post them at your leisure or just at a later time. But have that content ready. You don't want to go months and months without posting a single thing. You will lose subscribers that way. Tip number 3 is kind of silly, but when I started YouTube, I did not know how important this was, even though it's kind of obvious. Thumbnails. You need an attractive thumbnail. You may be an exceptional creator. You may have an awesome video, but it does not stand a chance of getting any views if no one's gonna click on it, okay? So you have to create a really appealing looking thumbnail, okay? Try different things. YouTube also has this new thing, and I admit I haven't tried it out yet because it is new, but it will compare the thumbnails, it'll compare titles, and see which ones are most likely to perform best. So give that a try, but you do need to put time and effort into your thumbnails. I personally use Canva. That's the platform that works well for me. And you know what's really big right now is using the background removal and then putting yourself in an outline. Check out my thumbnails. I do it every single time because I don't know why. It works. People like that, so you give the viewers what they want. But guys, thumbnails, they're so important. Seriously, the best videos in existence may never be seen if there's no appeal for people wanting to click on it. So work on your thumbnails. Tip number 4, invest in the proper equipment. This is where I made a huge error. I wish I would have done this sooner. This mic is new. This camera is new. The lighting that I have is new because I told myself when I started my Booktube channel that I was not going to invest a single penny until I started making money. Well, guess what? I probably would have made money a lot sooner if I had better quality videos, which necessitates a good microphone, a good camera, a good lighting, a good setup. Oh my gosh, if you go back and look at my first few videos, they're really bad. It's super informal. The sound quality is terrible. The image quality is terrible. The lighting is terrible. No one was watching them. Why? Because they're bad. So I had to learn the hard way, even though people told me how critical these things are. I thought, I'm not going to put any money into this until I'm making money. Okay, well, a good plan until it doesn't work because you don't get views when your videos are crap. Okay, it's just is what it is. So anyways, I wish I would have invested in the proper equipment and the proper setup way before I even shot my first initial videos. I think that would have expedited my monetization journey, but who knows? Tip number 5, location is critical. Okay, look, you will watch a lot of expert YouTubers give advice, and you need to make your videos interesting. And in order to do that, you need to move around. You need to be in different places. Not always. I have tried that. And for me personally, it does not work. What I'm talking about does not require me to move around. Now, I do agree to some extent, right? But not for me. I am talking about books, okay? So I don't need to be shown in different parts of the house or the room because otherwise I'm gonna have to move my mic. I'm gonna have to move my lighting equipment. I'm gonna have to move the camera. Do you know how much effort that would be? And for what reason? Just so somebody can see me on the opposite side of my bedroom? I don't think so. But I will say there are booktubers who do this masterfully. I've always loved Haley Pham. She moves around a lot. She has the equipment, she has the expertise. So if you want to try it, by all means. But for what I am doing, I tend to deep dive into the books that I'm reading, and I just don't see the need for me to move around. So do what works best for you. Now that's going to vary niche to niche or whatever your style may be. For me, I'm perfectly fine standing behind my book bar. That's where I'm most comfortable. I feel the most natural when I'm talking to the camera. So do what works for you, seriously. Do what makes sense for your particular content. Also, make sure that your location is distraction-free as best as possible. It's very difficult to record outside, not impossible, but you have outside elements that are going on. You have the wind, you may have some inclement weather, you have birds in the background. Now, depending on how good quality your mic is, you may be able to skirt around that stuff, but I just find that comes with a lot of complications. Now, me personally, I also prefer to have natural lighting. I live in a basement. I don't have any windows. I have no natural lighting, so I was forced to invest in some lighting equipment. And you know what? I'm still tinkering with it all the time. It's not perfect. It's not exactly how I want it. It does not beat natural lighting for me. But I also like the freedom of artificial lighting because now I can record at night. When you rely solely on natural lighting, you gotta record your videos during the day. So anyways, this gives me more of a chance to record when I have the availability, regardless of whether that's during the day or night. Tip number 6, find your personal style. Do not try to imitate other booktubers. I know how tempting that is because I have several booktubers who I really idolize. I love watching their videos. And sometimes just naturally without thinking about it, you try to emulate their style, but it's not gonna work. Find the style that works for you. Consider your pacing. I am a very rapid speaker and I'm well aware of that. And you know what? I tried to correct that early on in my journey and I thought I need to slow down. But when I forced myself to slow down, I sounded very unnatural. Why? Because that's not my style. My pace is fast. And you know who changed my mind is Larry. If you follow that booktuber, you know she is super speed, blah, blah, blah. She just goes. And you know what? I find it very thrilling. I find her entertaining. I find her content interesting. And you know what? I can follow it. She is so fast paced that I don't have a chance to get bored. So anyways, embrace your style and feel no shame about it. Also, beware of your mannerisms. I have learned a lot about my mannerisms by recording myself. And that's everything from movement to facial expressions to just, I used to do this thing in my videos where I would physically hold the book, which was horrible because I am so animated when I'm speaking that the book is flying all over the place and it's so distracting. And this is where the practice comes into play. You've got to practice. You have to watch and you have to assess how you speak and how you present yourself to the camera. More on that later. Tip number 7, when it comes to editing your videos, I just do everything on iMovie. It's the free platform on Mac. Edit more out than you think you need to. Okay, we'll talk about audience retention in a minute. Just overall though, it's bad. If you start going on tangents like crazy, I mean, don't get me wrong, time and place, right? But people get so distracted, and if their attention wavers for just a second, they are gone. It is so easy for them to click away. So just edit out all the fluff. That's not to say you can't have a personality. Don't edit out your personality. I'm just saying, if you go on a wild tangent that has nothing to do with the topic of your video, get rid of it. Also, watch those videos that you edit at least 2 times, ideally 3, because you will catch little things where you go, do I need that? No, cut it. On the flip side, tip number 8, don't over edit, as in don't add too many sound effects to where it's distracting to the viewers. Don't add too many images to where it's annoying to the viewer. So just be careful. Again, you have to kind of find your style, see what fits with your content and go with the flow. But if you add too much, sometimes it's overwhelming for the viewer. And I've gotten a lot of comments in previous videos where I was using AI images to supplement what I was talking about. I thought, oh, a visual aid, that's got to be good, right? A lot of people don't like that. You cannot please every viewer, so do the best that you can. And again, just be true to the style that you want to commit to, be true to yourself, and just roll with it. Tip number 9, watch out for copywritten material, okay? So when you use your images, just make sure that they are royalty free or that you're not gonna run into any copyright issues, because guess what? Once you cross that line into monetization, if your video is in violation of copyrighted material, you will lose out on the monetization for that video. So just be careful there. Tip number 10, something you probably don't think about until you encounter it, but watch out for your language. Watch out for specific terminology. Just for example, you want to stay away from certain terms that YouTube doesn't like. So for example, I may choose to use the term sexual assault instead of the other word. Do you catch my drift? Yeah, YouTube doesn't like that. If they pick up on certain terms that are on the no-go list, you're gonna lose out on monetization for that video, or your video is just gonna go bye-bye. So just be careful when you're talking about sensitive topics, okay? Tip number 11 to get more views, cross promote. If you have a Bookstagram account on Instagram, you got to promote your YouTube videos there. Create a story with a link to your YouTube video. If you have TikTok, Book talk about your videos there as well. If you are a Reddit user, that's also an excellent platform. Go find the subreddit that fits that particular piece of content that you're trying to promote and just talk about it there. You would be surprised by how many more views you will get by cross-promoting. It's something I didn't think to even do until way late in my YouTube journey, but it has significantly helped to boost the number of views that I get on my videos. Tip number 12 has to do with engagement. Ask viewers to comment. And you know what? I would do that earlier rather than later. Again, retention is crap, so we'll talk about that later. But ask people to comment. If they're watching your video, they already have a vested interest, hopefully, in the topic that you're discussing, and ask them a specific question. Try to get them engaged. With that being said, tip number 13 is to respond as quickly as possible. Don't wait a month or two before you respond. It's good to build a rapport with your viewers, and they love to be noticed and they love to be responded to. So you're asking them to comment, you better respond. So just try to make a priority of that as well. Tip 14 has to do with negative comments. Sorry, you're gonna get them. Doesn't matter if you're a small YouTube channel, you're gonna get them. People can be nasty, and particularly on YouTube, you know why? It's a faceless account. People's names don't have to be attached to their YouTube profile. You don't even have to have a profile picture. It could be anything you want. So people get real brave when there's no identity associated with their account. So you'll get some nasty comments. The best advice I can give for you there is either ignore it or just respond to it with kindness and just say, hey, thank you for your comment. You can keep it simple. Never retaliate with negativity, because guess what? Your viewers are going to see it, and that's going to be a huge turnoff to them. So just be kind, okay? I know it might be tempting to lash out. Just don't do it. It's not good for the health of your channel. Tip number 15 is practice. Practice is so important, and I did not realize just how much practice I was going to require before I became somewhat decent at video creation. As I had previously mentioned, my first few videos, actually my first probably 20, are really bad for a variety of reasons. I had a very difficult time acting natural because I was very aware that I'm not talking to anybody. Well, yes, I'm talking to you viewers, but it's weird because I have to go and edit it and I'm talking to a camera. That is very uncomfortable for me and probably a lot of other folks, and you need to get used to that feeling. You have to be comfortable talking to a camera and still acting like your natural self. So that requires practice. That's why I have such a difficult time watching my earlier videos, but you know what? I keep them on my channel because it shows me how much I have learned, how much I have grown, and how much I have improved. And that in itself is so satisfying to me, to know that I went from here to here and that I eventually made it. But it took me all this time, all this practice, and all this fine tuning to get to where I am now. And I'm not done growing. I'll probably do another video like this maybe in a year or two, and to see how much I've accomplished in the meantime. So that's just fun for me. I hope you consider keeping those initial videos because you can see just how much you've improved, and that is so fun and rewarding. Tip number 16 has to do with uploading your video. After you have met your monetization requirements, make sure that you do not publish your video until after YouTube does all of its preliminary checks, okay? So YouTube automatically checks for copyrighted material, etc., etc. And you know what? Most of the time that takes under 20 minutes. Not always though. I recently uploaded a video and I scheduled it the day before, and I've never had any issues with restrictions or checks or anything like that, but I failed to check right before my video was scheduled to go live, and the checks had not gone through. It's not like it was restricted or anything, but YouTube had not given the green light for it to be monetized. So I ended up getting dozens of views on a video that did not gain me any type of monetary compensation, which is fine. It was a learning opportunity. I immediately corrected it. What I had to do is I had to set that video to private, and then I re-uploaded that same video, and then for some reason that go around, everything went through, everything went as normal in under 20 minutes. Before your video goes live and available to the public, just make sure that YouTube has done all of its checks, because if it doesn't, you're missing out on monetization. What I would always recommend doing, although it didn't help in my case, always schedule the day before at least, or days in advance. That way YouTube has plenty of time to conduct its checks, but you don't have to. That's just something I like to do. That way it's just set and ready to go, and you're not scrambling trying to upload at the last minute. Tip number 17 can be tricky, and I say that because it was tricky for me. Ask for the subscription early in your videos. Okay, viewers forget to subscribe, even if they like you, if they enjoy the content on your channel. They may watch one of your videos, give it a thumbs up, and then on to the next. They forget to hit subscribe. So just a gentle, friendly reminder of, hey, if you have yet to do so, feel free to hit subscribe. I would love for you to stick around. I have a ton of content that would benefit you in this or that way. Just try to promote your stuff to them. That way they hit subscribe, and hopefully they will be back in returning viewers to your content. So if you don't ask, they may be likely to forget. So just throw it out there. It's uncomfortable, and it took me a lot of practice to get comfortable saying, hey, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along for this journey, blah, blah, blah. And I just think that's so important. And the reason I say ask for it early is retention is bad. Which brings me finally to tip number 18, retention. Okay, don't be alarmed. If your viewers typically stick around for a couple minutes, even though your video is 30+ minutes long, that's okay. That's normal. People have a very short attention span. Do not feel bad. That does not mean you are a bad creator. That does not mean that your video is bad or that they don't like you. It's just simply normal and expected. So with that being said, that's why I say, ask for the comments early, ask for the subscription early, because come minute 3, they may be gone, if not sooner. So don't get discouraged when you see viewer retention, because on average, it's just pretty bad all across the board. On the internet, people can be doing anything. And to capture someone's attention for more than 5 minutes, sometimes it's dang near impossible, okay? So just have realistic expectations. Ask for the subscription early, ask for the comments early. That way, they don't miss their opportunity 25 minutes in when they've left 20 minutes before. Tip number 19 is beware the long intro. I really struggled with this. I would talk for a long time. And again, it all goes back to that retention. If I have a 3-minute long intro, I may have lost over half my viewers who were willing to even click on the video to begin with. So I like to keep my introduction 30 seconds, maybe a minute at very most, but you have to deliver on the topic of what these people think that they are going into your video to watch. So if you title your video something, make sure you deliver pretty dang quick. If you have something that's on your thumbnail that drove somebody to click on your video, make sure you satisfy that curiosity pretty early on. Otherwise, they feel let down, they get frustrated, they get impatient, and then they're gone. So make sure that you deliver on whatever topic it is that you agreed to provide to them, your viewers, pretty quickly. And that's the thing, you want to deliver on your promise. What is your video about? Well, if you take too long to get to the point, your viewers are going to go bye-bye. Tip number 20 also has to do with your introduction. Make it as captivating as you possibly can. What you don't want to do is lose viewers before 30 seconds. If you can keep them for 30 seconds, that at least gives you a view. Doesn't matter if your video is an hour and a half. If a viewer sticks around for 30 seconds or more, that gets counted as a view. So try to get them to stick around for 30 seconds. So make the most captivating beginning as you possibly can and take advantage of those first 30 seconds. They are very critical, very important. Tip number 21 is do your research. If you have a video idea in mind, browse around YouTube, see what's already out there. Try to offer something that is different than what all the other creators are already doing. That's not to say that you can't kind of mimic some of the other videos out there, because you can in your own style. Don't outright copy them, but you can do those types of videos in your own way. But try to offer something that other creators have not done, which is hard, but just take a gander, browse YouTube, and if you have a video idea, take a look, see what's out there already. If there is a gap, if there's something that hasn't been done before, do it. Because if you're creating a video on something that hundreds or thousands of creators have already done, you're probably going to get lost in the mix. Maybe not. Maybe you get lucky, or maybe you're just that good of a creator to where people are drawn to your channel, they like your personality. Fantastic. That may be you. Hats off to you if that's you, because wow, that takes some talent right there. But you don't want to get lost in the mix, so try to offer something a little bit different. So for me, I like to do summary videos, because how many booktubers are out there that offer spoiler reviews and spoiler-free reviews, which I do those, but also I do summary videos, which a lot of booktubers do that, but not all of them do. And I feel like that's something a little different. And what I've done with my channel is I've given Booktube Dresden Files, because it's an older series and I'm currently making my way through it. And there's hardly any content out there on Dresden Files right now. So I feel like when it comes to numbers, I have a more likely chance of being viewed because there's simply less content out there with Dresden Files. Tip number 22 is be your most authentic, natural self. Easier said than done, right? Because again, you have to get used to speaking to a camera. That can be very uncomfortable. And again, it takes practice. But don't try to be someone that you're not. Don't try to imitate other creators because you like their style, you like their personality. If that's not you, it's simply not going to work. It's going to come off as disingenuous or fake or whatever the term may be, but just be yourself and embrace it. People will like your personality, which, talking about personality, you do need to have a little bit of a personality when you are on YouTube, okay? You have to be passionate. So if you haven't selected a niche, but you want to start a YouTube channel, make sure that it is something that you are passionate about, something you're enthusiastic about, something you're excited about, because if you're not, that is going to be easily seen by your viewers. They're going to say, oh, if the creator doesn't care about this topic, why would I care? You know? Tip 23 is silly, but look at the camera. When you're talking, talk to your people as if they live in the camera, because my first couple videos, I'm talking like this. Talking to people that are over here for some reason. I don't know why. but it is very awkward, so don't do that. Tip number 24, of course, add your hashtags in your description. It helps YouTube promote your content to the right viewers, people who have liked certain hashtags before. So don't forget to use those. Also, when you upload a video, make sure you add an end screen where you can promote other videos of yours. Also, use those cards as well. If you make mention in one of your videos of another video that you've done, always add a card there. And also, that is a best practice to do anyways. If you are creating a video about something, always try to refer to other content. That way, if people are interested in it, they can click on it, and then you have more views for more of your content. So win, win, win. Tip number 25 is also kind of silly, but it may save a lot of you. Always, 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 before you shoot any video, do a quick test run. It takes 30 seconds. Make sure your lighting looks good. Make sure your mic is working. Make sure your camera is connected appropriately, because wow, I've heard of horror stories where creators lose an entire hour of footage because something wasn't connected properly. Why? They didn't know it because they didn't conduct a test. So it may sound silly, and it doesn't matter if you're pressed for time. Just do a quick test run before you shoot anything. It may save you a lot of headache, and it may save you time in the long run, because if you're planning on focusing on long form content, who knows, maybe you want to focus on short term, meaning the shorts on YouTube, which is fine. Whole other set of criteria to monetize there. I personally like to focus on my long form content. And if you are shooting half an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours plus, oh my gosh, you better make sure that everything is operating as it's supposed to. Otherwise, it is devastating to lose that much time, because it's time, and time is valuable. There's simply not enough of it. So use your time wisely, make sure everything's working properly. Those are my 25 tips for you if you are wanting to monetize your Booktube channel. I hope that they were helpful. All these tips, they're probably not new to you. They're probably something that you have thought about or already considered, but you know what? It's good to have a reminder and really take these tips to heart, because some of these tips I was aware of when I started my channel, but it didn't really hit me as to how critical they were until I started failing. Sometimes it takes failure to reach success. I wish it didn't. How much easier would this have been? But yeah, over 2.5 years later, here we are. And again, I'm a very small channel. I hope to grow later on. I do not plan on slowing down on the content, but you know what? If you are considering starting a YouTube channel, a Booktube channel, please do it. You really don't have anything to lose except for your time. And it's time well invested, because you're going to be working on yourself. You're going to be developing new skills. You will learn a lot about yourself. You may be one of those people that can't say one sentence without saying, or. Yeah, why do I say that? Because I was one of those people. How did I become aware of that? YouTube, doing YouTube. You will learn and you will grow, and it is so incredibly rewarding. But again, if you're worried about anything that you may potentially lose, it's just time. But again, it's time you've invested in yourself, trying something new, and have fun with it. This has been so fun for me, and it has been so incredibly rewarding to finally reach those monetization requirements. And then of course it was a journey from there too. I had to wait a few more months before I saw that first paycheck, because of the $100 minimum that you have to reach before AdSense will pay you. If you have any questions, I hope you leave me a comment, and I will do my best to respond to them as quickly as possible. Best of luck to you. I hope that your Booktube channel explodes, okay? Just be patient. It may not happen overnight. It may not happen within the first couple years of starting your Booktube channel, but you never know. Leave your stuff there. Maybe in 10 years, on accident, things will blow up. I'd be super thrilled for you. If there are any major tips that I have missed, please let me know in the comments, because I plan to do another one of these videos maybe a year from now. After I've gained even more experience with YouTube, I'm sure I have a lot to learn, and I am very eager for the journey, and I hope that you are too. Again, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment or let me know your overall thoughts if there's anything that I've missed. Best of luck to you creators. Enjoy the journey, and congratulations on your eventual success. If you've already met monetization requirements, fantastic. Congratulations. Keep going. Do not slow down. And if you haven't quite hit those requirements yet, please don't give up, because it's coming. The more content you crank out, the more likely that your channel is going to see success. So just hang in there, do the best you can, make every video better, and eventually your channel will take off, and I'm super excited for you. I think that's all I have for you for now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in another video, and until next time, I will catch you on the flip side.